And we begin now with some breaking news. We have been following these massive protests that have been circling parts of La Mesa. You are looking at a live video right now from Sky 10. We have crews on the ground. You can see those protests wrapping around police headquarters right there in La Mesa and continuing to grow throughout the day. Protesters, meantime, this is on the 8 freeway there, breaking a line there in La Mesa. This is the second of two scenes happening right now, and you can see them scattering into the lanes to stop traffic in both directions. They are upset over this incident involving a black man and a La Mesa police officer this past Wednesday. Good evening, I'm Vanessa Van Hefty. We have team coverage of these protests and the incident that sparked all of this. We begin with 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle. She is live at La Mesa Police headquarters. Cassie.
Yeah, out here you can see it is very volatile. There's hundreds of people in front of the La Mesa police station that is covered in graffiti. Just in about the last half hour, there was a Bearcat that came in and it was met with protesters. Protesters forced the Bearcat out of the parking lot, covered it in paint, hurled rocks and bricks at it. And then we heard gunfire, or what we thought was gunfire. We found out that it was actually rubber bullets that were fired into the crowd so that Bearcat could leave. Now, this was all organized by Casey Short, a military veteran in the San Diego community. And he organized this because he was touched emotionally by George Floyd's death, and he wanted to bring everyone together to push against the injustice that is happening nationwide. And we spoke with Yusef Miller, who is a member of the Racial Justice Coalition. And I'm sorry, we've got a fire truck that is coming around the corner, so that's what you're hearing, not in response to the protest. Now, Yusef told us that he wants carotid restraints to be forbidden from police use out here because it is such a dangerous use of force, is what he was saying. As you can see, more and more people are coming every minute to this protest, and we've heard possibilities of using pepper balls or spray to disperse the crowd. We are monitoring the situation by minute, and we will have the latest for you. For now, reporting live, Cassie Carlisle, 10 News.
Cassie, we know it's a tense situation. You're juggling a lot. Stay safe. That scene in La Mesa has been changing a lot in the last hour, and 10 News reporter Adam Rakusin joins us from the Live Center to walk us through exactly what's happening out there and what sparked this. Adam.
Yeah, and Vanessa, there's actually two different scenes that we're monitoring right now. One is what you saw right there outside of the La Mesa Police Department, but another is up off of the Interstate 8 across from the Grossmont Center, where some protesters. Hold on, we're going to go to Sky 10 right now. We're going to walk over right here. We can see it looks like they're firing some sort of gas. There's smoke. Looks like people are dispersing right now. Officers look like they have fired something into the crowd. We're watching this with you right now. This is happening. This is live video from Sky 10 right now. You can see what it looked like. Protesters throwing some things back at the police department right now, but you can see, look at that, there's just something being thrown toward the police department, others maybe bottles, not sure at this point, but look at that smoke cloud. This is the front of the La Mesa Police Department. There were hundreds of people just standing there moments ago. You're watching this as they're all now backing off, kind of running away from that direction. That smoke cloud starting to clear just a couple seconds before this. You can see this, it's really, if you look up toward the top corner, you can see those officers in tactical gear that are looking down. Not sure if that's where the smoke or the fires came from, but these officers were up there. We saw them getting ready. We saw them with some sort of weapon out a little bit earlier as we were monitoring the Sky 10 video right there. So you can see all those protesters are now leaving that area from where they were. The police department, you've got those officers right at the front right here, and the protesters, so if you're familiar with La Mesa, this is right near downtown La Mesa. That's kind of the parking lot in front of the La Mesa Police Department. You've got City Hall right there, the fire station. It backs up right into downtown La Mesa. So the protesters are now scattering out from in front of the La Mesa Police Department. We're not sure what was fired into the crowd, but we saw with you all of that smoke. We've got reporter Cassie Carlisle on the ground right now. We're going to toss to you. Cassie, what are you seeing?
Yep. So we have tear gas on the ground. It burns and you can feel it in your mouth. The mask does help a little bit. This crowd has been dispersing multiple times during this protest. So we knew that this was coming. We just didn't know when. There are a lot of people suffering right now from this tear gas, pouring water onto their face, spitting, a lot of people coughing. I am sorry for the bad words that you're hearing. It does burn. I don't know if anyone else has been, else has dealt with tear gas before, but there is more coming, so we will back up a little bit more now. There is a car coming, so we're going to stop. It's just kind of chaotic down here as people are trying to drive away, trying to run away from, and that was a flashbang, you guys. So that is again why we're backing up. These are all tactics that the police use to disperse a crowd safely without having to fire their weapons. So that is what's going on out here, you guys. I'm going to toss it back to you for now.
We're watching reporter Cassie Carlisle live outside of the La Mesa Police Department, and we've got Ray Shea on the phone, former police officer. Ray, you're watching this unfold as we are right now. What can you tell us about the tactics? What are you seeing from what's happening right now out front of the La Mesa Police Department?
I am telling you that the police are doing exactly what they need to do. When you have a criminal act begin to occur and you have a large crowd, that's phase 4 of a crowd, and when criminal acts start to occur, you have to take action that the rule of law will be enforced. And so everyone watching it on TV will know, do not go to that and cause criminal acts, that there's a right to peacefully assemble. But when criminal acts occur, we've learned through history, you have to take action.
And when you're talking about criminal acts, if you could define to the viewers at home what you mean by that would elevate to tear gas and what Cassie was describing as a possible flashbang.
Well, that decision is made by the field commander. If you have people throwing bottles, if you have people painting, if people no longer peacefully assembling, then you need to take action. And they don't want that police station to be what happened in Minneapolis, where it was burned. You have to take control of the situation when the crowd becomes violent.
Ray, at what point do you start making arrests out there? That's something that we haven't seen yet. This is the first time that we've seen them resort to this today, and these demonstrations have been going on for hours now. But at what point do they start taking people into custody?
Well, when you see criminal acts, you will start seeing people going to jail. And that message has to go out to all the viewers, that if you're going to break windows, if you're going to set fires, the police, the sheriff's department, the California High Patrol, they're going to arrest you and put you in jail. And that's the action you need to take. And these are very well-trained police departments. And we faced this over many years, and we know that if they don't take action now, it just gets worse. And you have to put a stop to the violence.
And this is tear gas that we're seeing right now, that cloud, that plume of smoke?
Yes, Vanessa, that's what it looks like from where I see.
And we've also seen the demonstrations, Ray, on the freeway. Where do police draw the line between freedom of speech and the law? That traffic backed up for miles and miles now.
And the officers and CHP showed a lot of restraint on the freeway. You had them run past their lines, and you got to decide where you're going to draw a line and where you're not. But you have a field commander that is a CHP captain probably or higher making these decisions. With that group, you have Chief Walt Vasquez at Mesa PD making decisions. But what's good, you're seeing is decisions are being made that's saying, if you're going to be violent, if you're going to break a window, if you're going to cause damage, do not come. And so I encourage people, you will see more arrests occur throughout these different locations.
I'm watching this unfold as you are on television from the Sky 10 video. It looks like some of the protesters have dispersed, others have kind of gone, but there is a crowd that seems to be somewhat potentially moving back toward the police station. In your experience, does an initial kind of flashbang and tear gas end the protests for the day, or is it likely that this would continue on and this is just the first time you could possibly see this?
Well, it will likely carry on. But what you're doing is you're saying we're not going to tolerate violence against the police. We're not going to tolerate violence against the station. And so that station will not burn tonight. But I just encourage people, do not go there. If a crowd is violent, these officers, and they're going to make arrests because that's what they need to do. Because if they don't, you're going to have what occurred in Minneapolis.
In such a powder keg of a situation that we're looking at right now, what do you anticipate going into the evening hours?
Well, I think all your law enforcement agencies are on high alert, and they'll be out looking for people that are conducting criminal acts, and they will arrest them, and people will go to jail. And it's tough, it's challenging. Those officers, they're hot, they've been out there all day, but that's what law enforcement do. They go out and save lives, and they protect property, and they protect people.
Ray Shea, thank you so much for joining us, former San Diego Police Department SWAT commander. Thank you for your input. And Adam, we want to go back to you before this all erupted here. You were talking about how this whole thing started. There are two incidents.
Yeah, there's two scenes right now. So obviously from Sky 10, you're seeing the scene that was unfolding in front of the La Mesa Police Department. There was another one where a group of protesters were on Interstate 8 and they were blocking some lanes on this. So you're seeing kind of now what's been developing over a course of a couple days. We need to give you some context on how we even got here to Saturday. So we need to go back to Wednesday for that. And this is a video that was filmed on Wednesday. It was a cell phone video that was taken of an altercation between a white police officer and an African-American man in La Mesa that has gone viral. The man in the video says this officer abused his power.
The video starts with this.
Hey, bro, you can't.
The video shows Amari Johnson quickly stand back up, the officer's hand still gripping Johnson's arm. You can hear Johnson tell the officer he's making a big deal out of nothing.
You making a big out of nothing, bro. You making a big. You real big though, huh? Hey, you real big. Hey, you real big.
Bro, we live here. Dude, just leave him alone, bro. He just came over.
Hey, where was I at? Where was I at? Right there. I told you, brother, right? The came, bro. The people came. I'm finna dip. Okay. I have no reason to be detained by you, bro. Bro, stop. Sit down, bro.
About 42 seconds into the video, other officers enter the picture. Johnson is placed in handcuffs. A few seconds later, this exchange.
Bro, I didn't put nothing on you, bro. It's on camera, so you can check me. It's all good.
The video continues for another 5 minutes. Johnson telling officers he was waiting for his friends, saying he did nothing wrong. You can hear the person filming the video confirm that, in other voices you can't see, telling him not to say anything, that everything is caught on camera. 5 minutes into the video, Johnson is taken away in handcuffs.
I gave him the information that he wanted. I told him what I was doing there. So, I mean, there was really no escalation for me until I felt myself being restrained, and I didn't understand the reason for that happening, you know?
In an interview with 10 News, Johnson said he was waiting for his friends at the trolley stop. He says they live in the apartment building he was standing in front of. Johnson says an officer started questioning him, and at no point did he resist or assault anyone.
For that situation to escalate the way it did, and for the cop to, you know, stand firm in his beliefs that, you know, I should be detained or taken in with no prior evidence or reasoning, I think that should be seen by the people.
We asked Johnson what happened between him and the officer. He told us he'll have his day in court to explain the situation. We also asked the La Mesa Police Department, along with a request for the officer's body camera video from the time the officer first approaches Johnson. In a statement released Thursday, the city of La Mesa says a special investigator has been selected to look into the incident. The mayor saying the city takes these matters seriously. 10 News spoke with La Mesa City Council member Dr. Akila Weber. She calls what she saw in the video concerning and says she has questions about why officers were initially there and what exactly happened.
This is a very big issue in our community right now, and to make sure that we continue with transparency.
Okay, so it's important to note that the video doesn't show the beginning or the very beginning of that interaction with Johnson, and Johnson didn't explain how it started. He did say that he was charged with assaulting an officer and resisting arrest. We've requested that police body camera video. The La Mesa Police Department has not responded to our request. They also have not released that officer's name. Obviously, you're watching the video right here. If you want to see the entire thing in its context of what we have, we put that up on our website, 10news.com. It's right there on the homepage. Vanessa?
Adam, we know you will continue to dig for those answers. Thank you so much. And we want to go back outside, taking a live look outside. We continue our coverage of those massive protests in La Mesa happening right now. Plus, the first manned space mission launched from U.S. soil in almost a decade.